ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Let me start with a question. Who here knows what the boiling point of mercury is? Anyone?
Minus
Very
200
low.
something.
2000 degrees?
It's 356.7 degrees Celsius. Now, much you know that. I mean, you can just Google it, right? That's what I did. Especially in this golden age of information overload, isn't it smarter to just manage that information, look for what you need when you need it? Well, I'm here to argue that no, actually, there is some value in remembering things and knowing things. Your long-term memory is what underpins knowledge, your ability to capture new knowledge. Now, what do I mean by long-term memory? Allow me to illustrate with a thought experiment. I hope you can join me. Try and remember the following: 4, 3, 2, 1, 11, 7, 6, 4. Now put that aside and try and remember the following: square, 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 triangle, triangle, triangle. Which was easier to remember? You probably found that the first one was a lot more challenging. The reason being is that we rely on our short-term memory or working memory. And science has proven that really you can only remember 7 thoughts, ideas, or objects at one point in time. And what you really want to rely on is your long-term memories, that deep well of accumulated knowledge. And that's what I believe is so important, and so we need to cherish that. So why is your long-term memory important in the context of knowledge? What can you really do with it? For starters, that will help you be more creative, more insightful. Because the building blocks of new ideas and innovation is existing knowledge and ideas. No one creates the wheel from scratch, right? We're born and we kind of adopt knowledge and information from our DNA, from our ancestors. So once you have a good foundation, you can combine that to create new insights, and that's the impetus for creativity. Another reason why long-term knowledge and learning things and remembering things is important is because it acts as a springboard for acquiring new knowledge. What do I mean by that? Allow me to give an example. Imagine you're tasked with understanding or conducting a deep study of the craftsmanship of watches, how watches are built, how they're maintained, how they work. However, you don't know what the concept of time is. You don't know that small hand goes for hours, big hand is for minutes. Suddenly the task of studying watches becomes a lot more difficult, takes a lot more cognitive effort. And that's probably why that guy in your history class was bored to tears when we were learning about Roman history, because, let's face it, he didn't know where Rome was. So there was no context. So the takeaway from that is having a knowledge base makes it more interesting and makes it less tasking to learn new information. So you're bound to learn more. Finally, having a deep well of stored information allows you to identify blind spots, or also known as unknown unknowns. So let me illustrate with an example. A child is aiming to learn what the color orange is. We're probably all familiar with colors and shapes, no, I'm hoping. But for you as a child to know what the color orange is, you need to understand the concept of a color, that concept exists. And you need to know that there's more than one color. There's red, there's green, there's orange, there's blue. I don't need to teach you about that. But that in itself is fascinating, that as a child, you need to know certain things to know what you don't know. For the child to go, to grunt and point and say, what's that color? That child needs to understand and know that color exists as a concept. And that's the power of remembering things. So, in short, retaining knowledge is important. It's not simply about, I'll just Google it. I'll just find it when I do. We need to learn to exercise that skill, because it's essential for our survival. So I'm asking you today to make an effort in this day and age to remember things, to make an effort and really try and accumulate that deep well of knowledge, because it's going to guide you throughout your life. You might not know when, but it'll definitely be useful. It'll help you be creative, help you learn more and enjoy it as you do. And finally, uncover blind spots. So it'll allow you to really understand what you need to learn to survive and thrive. And I just want to leave you with this final quote, which I think has become quite generic: knowledge is power. So take a moment and think about that the next time you say, I'll just Google it, why do I need to know? You know, short and sweet, that's my message today. Thank you very much for listening. It's been a pleasure.